Boker Tov, Edith.
Boker Tov, Julia. How are you? Yasas.
Yes. Very good. Happy New Year to all of us. It's a good year.
Yes, and we are starting. This is the first exploration in 2021. Yes.
Yes.
So this is Exploring Reality 18, and we are on the 6th of January 2021. And we received an inquiry, a very interesting inquiry from receptor 1, which I'm very thankful for. And I just will read the question, yes?
Yes.
I was wondering if you and Julia can talk about create and consume, as in create calm. What is the difference and how do we register the difference in ourselves? You touched on this in a previous conversation. Yes.
Yes, she was referring to something you mentioned.
Yes.
That instead of, don't consume calm. Very interesting question.
Well, let's see. What is it that we tell a person who gets angry because they order, say, herring, you know, a salted fish from the local supermarket, and they got cookies in the shape of fishes.
Nice.
This is the true story because it has happened lately in my family, yeah? Now, we usually say, have some proportions, right?
Right.
Put things into proportions because, first of all, you can eat the cookies. And also, you have a funny story to tell.
Exactly.
And about the herring, well, next week, make sure they understand you in the supermarket, yes? And let's zoom in, as in a magnifying glass, and look at this word, proportions. Because pro is for as a prefix. And then you have port, which is the point of entry of traffic. And then you have ions. 4 port ions. The ionic realm.
Yeah.
So it says, let 7, 8, 9 come in. Or as in the song from last year, let the sun come in.
Yeah.
Let the sun shine in. Because the input from the sun is received firstly by the Earth's ionosphere. And ionic state is subatomic. I think we mentioned that 7, 8, 9 is the higher trio in all calculators, yeah?
Yes.
To represent the subatomic realm. Actually, I heard a quote from Nikola Tesla lately, who said, the day science starts to research non-physical phenomena, it will make more progress in 1 decade than in all the previous centuries of its existence. And actually, my sense is that he meant not non-physical, but non-atomic, subatomic.
Yeah.
Because it is physical, but it is a much more complete perspective about physics, not the physics that we are used to, rather physics that includes the non-existence as the source of the expressed universe. And when you research how this is happening, the transformation or the unfolding from the void into something, you see that the first realm appearing, the first realm of reception in planet Earth from the sun is ionic. And what this means is a particle with a negative electrical charge. It also means that ions are less gravitatorial than atoms, and atoms are less gravitatorial than molecules and bodies. So, from nothing to something, there is a journey of valence, not of value. Value would be a gravitatorial expression of the ions.
Please explain a little bit more.
Well, mind you that you have to do some of your own research in here, the same as I do, because
Yes.
you need here chemistry and you need understanding of physics.
Valence is also part of the social psychology textbooks, of
Yeah,
the years
but
between people and teams.
right. So this is a usage from chemistry, because valence is to do with the electrons that compose already an atom.
Right. What
I
puts them
was
together?
I was a terrible student in chemistry
So
because
life had a surprise for you.
but you know why? Because my chemistry teacher used to spit as he talked.
It was traumatic.
Exactly, exactly. Although he was a nice Russian guy, I couldn't be open to learn chemistry. I always went to the back, yeah? To the back row. I sat on the back. But I liked my physics teacher.
Yeah.
So there I have a stronger basis. But hey, the convergent logic is not a magic wand. We all need to continue to be life learners and detect where we are missing the basis to accommodate all this information. And also what we have missed there, because when you go back to the structure of the atom and to the structure of the molecule and to this all this content, you look at it now with the convergent logic from a different perspective. In fact, to accommodate all this information, we need more formation.
Right.
Otherwise, it cannot come in.
Maybe it's a good suggestion to offer us a course, Edith. It's about time. A
This
basic
is,
introduction to the approach of convergent logic.
I would love to do it. Yes, we might talk about it in a different moment. Yeah. So back to the question, yeah. If I have to offer rule number 1 to generate calm rather than consume calmness, is this: observe without judgment. Give space to valence and don't cram it with value. I will give you an example.
Yeah.
Scientific equipment lately has registered in the last 3 months not less than 3,000 earthquakes in Antarctica. And when I told it to a friend, she wondered almost immediately, as in a reaction, she wondered if this is a result of natural phenomena or this is caused by human destructive behavior.
Right.
Yes? They are not very environmental, so to say. Now, her reaction really surprised me because I was still giving my faculties the space and the time to observe and absorb this information. I did not meet it judgmentally at all. I didn't even consider if there is someone to blame.
Right.
I still don't know what this means. I don't know what is the history of this, what the records say. As an example, I know there isn't much record because it is very expensive to place equipment and monitor it in such a remote and cold desert, ice desert. From the perspective of human condition, it's an ice desert, yeah. It is so far away from the equator where life is easier. Yes, you don't need to worry about heater and warm clothes, and the fruits grow abundantly from every other tree. You know what I mean.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I still need to observe the fact of the Earth's poles and why they are frozen. So I cannot move to put value into this before I create in me a space. If you'd like, it's like in the computer. I create a new directory, earthquakes in Antarctica, where I start to load files with all these details that I know will slowly gain gravitatorial status, and one day they will appear as a new understanding. So this rule says as well, give yourself the space to learn and generate new knowledge that come via your y-axis from the subtleties, not the obvious, because look even at this word, subtle. It says it all, doesn't it? Subtle, subatomic. It is under what we see. It is not the obvious. The obvious would mean getting angry because I got the wrong article from the supermarket. This is the obvious. But what really happened there in that misunderstanding? That I mean to say something or write something or choose an item from the app and I get something else. Because in this question, I'm already creating space and I'm already placing myself in the realm of seeing something new I haven't seen before. So I'm already in the realm of enlarging my perception. And from a larger perception, you get different proportions.
Right. Also, you're describing the two different and of the temperature of emotions, the overheated and the very cold.
Yeah.
Whilst the observer should be in the white axis, not having the temperature which is over or under.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, I'll get to it. Yeah, you're right. So now see that generating calmness is enlarging one's perception due to the fact that I took consciousness and intentionally slowed down. Whilst in consuming calmness, I'm consuming time that was created by the solar system. In the intentionally slowing down, I de-accelerate time and focus my mind into kairos rather than chronos. And this is something to research as well, yeah? I'm using your language. And yes, the chemical reaction in me then is cold. Not as in indifferent, disconnected cold, but rather moving closer to the core. When you consume calmness, you are an end user. When you generate it, you are a co-creator of time and of reality.
Wow.
Now, how do we differentiate them? Well, because consuming time is repetitive.
Yeah.
Just, you know, call up in yourself the times that we enjoyed a lovely day and sat by the sea and had repetitive thoughts. And in the generation of it, you will have new thoughts appearing. You will be noticing subtleties. Now in Spanish, it is very interesting because it says calma, C-A-L-M-A, calma. But alma is soul. And you place a C before alma, and C is 3, which is already our nervous system being able to see, being able to have a perception, a new perspective. So it is a very profound question, and we are only touching like the first understandings, but I think the idea here is that we are learners, and when we move into our usual, we know it and we should know it, life is very shallow and repetitive, and nothing new comes in.
It's true. And also our Redis, the basket with all our references, are already old in our basket.
Yes, we need...
ready to be used to impress ourselves or to settle ourselves, but nothing new is coming out of this.
What you're saying says another rule, which is to be always discovering. And it's a different energy altogether.
It's true. And whilst you were going through the proportions from pro ions, I had this picture, this image that there is another movement, ions for pro, on the other
Yes.
direction
Yes.
of the world in this process. And it's another way to approach language, from what is incoming and what is outcoming, and where do they meet in this space. And
well, yes, you are pointing to the multidimensional interaction of human in the solar system,
which you need to help me understand. I insist for the course.
Okay.
Did you take the hint?
You're speaking very clearly about this, and yes, we might offer such a series of meetings to introduce the foundations.
Yes.
So consider it and see if this plan wants to become a practicality.
Nahon.
So thank you for your time, Julia, in this first exploration of 2021. And
thank you. It was very good beginning for this year.
Thank you. Bye-bye.